Police charged him with driving under the influence, but doctors would later determine he'd suffered a severe stroke. Well, now he's suing the town for tens of millions of dollars, saying instead of getting the medical attention he needed, he was locked in a cell for nearly 30 hours.
We all knew she was a bad parent, but I don't think nobody really realized this was going on.
Charlene Bryant is the former sister-in-law to 34-year-old Kelly Bryant, now facing child charges after investigators say they found 3 of her kids living alone for several years at this Pontiac townhouse on Lydia Lane.
But I'm getting too nice with this. Ain't no way that I'm going outside. My pockets been heavy as shit.
M2T, what's going on, fam? How's everybody doing today? Hope everybody having a blessed day. Peace and blessings upon all of you, fam. We're going to continue to do like we do every week. Get out there, do our part on making the economy run better, making sure that there's food on the table, a roof over the fam head. All right, without any further ado, we're going to get on into the stories. But before we do, don't forget to hit that like, comment, share, and subscribe button whenever you pull up to the channel. Yeah. Hit that like button one time for your boy. Alright, I appreciate y'all, fam. January the 15th, 2025, 54-year-old trucker William Hine filed a lawsuit, you guys. He filed a lawsuit against the Whiteville, Kentucky Police Department for something no trucker should ever have to experience or go through. Check this out.
Crashes into a car in WithA. Police charged him with driving under the influence, but doctors would later determine he'd suffered a stroke. Well, now he's suing the town for tens of millions of dollars, saying instead of getting the medical attention he needed, he was locked in a cell for nearly 30 hours. Target 7 investigator Annabelle Kinney has the exclusive report.
This way. Are you driving this tractor trailer? Yeah.
April 26, 2023, William Hine, a 54-year-old truck driver from Kentucky, crashes into an SUV on East Main Street in Wytheville. Sergeant Zachary Puckett with the Wytheville Police Department arrives on the scene. He begins to question Hine, who is clearly disoriented about the crash.
And you can barely speak, you're not making any sense at all.
Puckett suspects Hine is under the influence.
All right, partner. I'm going to ask you some questions, and I want you to be honest with me, okay? Honesty goes a long way with me. What type of drugs are you using? Okay. What type have you used?
I have.
Never in your life?
No.
No drugs at all?
Puckett also asks if Hine has any mental or physical disabilities, and Hine says no, before asking again about drugs.
Be honest with me, what's going on with you? Huh? Never used meth, anything like that?
And a few minutes later, he asks about drugs again.
Any street drugs? None of that. Okay.
And then alcohol.
You not had any alcohol?
No.
None last night?
No.
None today?
No.
But not once in the 48 minutes of body camera video obtained by Target 7 does Puckett ask if Hine, who just wrecked his tractor trailer, is injured or wants to see a doctor. And no ambulance is ever called. Puckett gives Hine a series of cognitive tests.
Okay, go ahead and tilt your head back for me.
And then a breathalyzer test.
Blow, 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 blow.
Court documents show Hine blew a .01, which is well under Virginia's legal limit of .08.
This time I'm placing you under arrest for operating a motor vehicle under the influence. Go ahead and turn around and put your hands behind your back.
More than 2 hours after the crash, Hine is lodged in the New River Valley Regional Jail on a DUI charge. He's given a universal drug screening, which his attorneys say came back completely negative. His blood draw showed he had no alcohol or drugs in his system. A search of his truck didn't turn up any drugs or alcohol. The lawsuit claims he was left in a cell for nearly 27 hours, disoriented and unable to control his bodily functions. But again, he's not offered medical care by the officers at the jail.
What's your last name?
The lawsuit says it's not until nearly 5 p.m. the next day that Haim's sister begs jail staff to get Haim help. He's taken to the New River Valley Regional Medical Center, where he's finally diagnosed. Doctors say he had a stroke. Haim was transferred to Lewis Gale Medical Center in Salem, where the stroke was confirmed nearly 30 hours after he first had it. The lawsuit claims by then it was too late for him to receive tissue plasminogen activator treatment, which helps clear blood clots to allow blood to flow to the brain after a stroke.
Stand with your feet together.
It says Haim suffered, quote, extensive and permanent injuries, and that he's been placed under a guardianship and requires assistance for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week in order to survive. The lawsuit is seeking more than $10 million in damages, alleging Puckett, as well as 2 other officers who helped him, were negligent. It says because of their training, they should have known Haim was suffering a medical episode and gotten him help. And
Trucker Williams, instead of them trying to get him help and trying to make sure that he was okay, to make sure that he was all right, they immediately perceived that he was under the influence, even though the meter told him that he wasn't. The meter read 0.01. You have to be 0.08 to be considered intoxicated. Our brother was having a stroke, a medical issue. And that officer constantly tried to paint another narrative of what was going on. It's in their training, from what's being reported, that they are supposed to take certain measures, especially when results like the intoxication meter is showing them different. Not only did they not get him no help, but they arrested him, took him in, where he went through all different kind of changes because of the condition that he was in from the medical situation he was going through. Not only that, now today, he has to be watched over 24/7, 365 in order to even survive because of this situation. Should no trucker have to go through that? And I salute all my veteran truckers because they paid the pad for me. If it wasn't for truckers like Trucker William and our older veteran truckers out there, the pad wouldn't be paid for me. So I salute all my veteran truckers out there. I've been trucking for 10 years, but you got truckers, some of y'all have been out there 20-something, 30-something, 40-something years. And man, I tip my hat to y'all. Now, I do know that we are supposed to get our normal checkups. You know, some of us yearly, some of us bi-yearly. However, a situation like Trucker William went through, a stroke will happen in the heat of the moment. A heart attack can happen at the heat of a moment. Anything like that, you can't catch that. When it hit, it hit. And a lot of times it do hit with older truckers. He did right, his family did right by filing their suits because they was negligent all the way through there. And it wasn't only that officer, it was 2 more officers that was involved in it with him. My heart goes out to Trucker Williams, and we just want his family to know that we are praying for a speedy recovery for him and that we are keeping you guys in our thoughts and prayers. Get in the comments and let me know what y'all think about Trucker Williams' story. All right, on to our main story. February 18, 2025, Pontiac, Michigan. Authorities went to do a welfare check at the home of 34-year-old Kelly Bryant, out of concern of her and her children and not hearing from them. The landlord said he hadn't heard from her in months. Upon entering, Kelly wasn't there, but her children was, ages 15, 13, and 12. And what the authorities found when they entered that house was crazy. Check this out.
We all knew she was a bad parent, but I don't think nobody really realized this was going on.
Charlene Bryant is the former sister-in-law to 34-year-old Kelly Bryant, now facing charges after investigators say they found 3 of her kids living alone in squalor for several years at this Pontiac townhouse on Lydia Lane. Charlene has not been in contact in years and has loads of questions now.
I just don't know how the family don't know when they were so close.
Oakland County Prosecutor Karen McDonald charged Kelly Bryant with 3 counts of abuse in the first degree, which could mean life in prison if convicted. All of this after police say they found 3 of Bryant's 4 kids, a 15-year-old boy and his 2 sisters, ages 12 and 13, living in conditions.
Her daughters were hiding in a bathroom that was filled with piles of trash and completely non-functional, while her son was hiding in another room. Police were astonished to find anyone in the location because it appeared to be uninhabitable, with piles of garbage and refuse several feet high, including large amounts of human excrement.
The prosecutor says Bryant lived at the home with all 4 kids back in 2019, but later moved out, leaving 3 of her children abandoned while one of the kids went to live with their dad. Detectives say the landlord called police to the home, worried for Bryant's welfare after not getting a rent payment since last October. That's when the kids were found, shaken, scared, according to the prosecutor.
Honestly, I thought the grandmother was taking care of the children.
That's the last you heard?
Yeah, that's the last. You went 4 or 5 years without seeing your grandchildren. There was no questions.
We also searched Bryant's Facebook page, which was easy to find and not set to private. Her content shows her modeling various outfits for the camera.
She's gonna claim she couldn't afford to take care of her kids, but you got your hair done, you got your nails done, you got new clothes on all your pictures. Come on now.
What do you think should happen at this point?
She needs to go to prison and never see her kids again. Them kids need to go to someone that's going to take care of them.
Where was the mom living that whole time? Welcome to 7 News Detroit at 6. I'm Carolyn Clifford.
And I'm Mike Duffy. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, Kelly Bryant is facing federal charges of abuse after investigators discovered her children living in filth for years. And today, our team found out where Bryant may have been living.
And that's not all. 7 News Detroit reporter Sarah Michaels is also listening to the children's grandparents tonight and a neighbor who says he actually had interactions with the kids before.
Up until this point, many of us believe that the 3 children living in this home had no contact with anyone except for their mother for nearly 5 years. Well, today we learned that at least a handful of times they did call out to a neighbor. Was it just that one time?
Maybe 2 or 3 times.
A father himself, Jamar Johnson, tells me he felt the need to share that he heard the 3 kids in this Pontiac home. For 6 months, he has lived 2 doors down, and occasionally they yelled out their window to him.
Just, they say, hey, nice car. But, and I might wave back at them, but that's it. There's no way that I could have known that they were in a terrible situation.
He never saw them outside, but he saw their mother, 34-year-old Kelly Marie Bryant.
She would be outside for hours and hours with a friend.
Johnson says Bryant was always in a car with a friend. He never saw her go inside, and he wonders, who was that friend? Did they know who Bryant was hiding?
She's from here, she's from there. We don't know where she resides.
So many have been wondering where Bryant herself lived. Court documents show 2 addresses. At one of them, I talked to a woman who confirmed Bryant was living here.
Were you guys living together?
The house is about 6 minutes away from where Bryant's children were. The woman behind the door telling me that Bryant always told them the kids were with their dad, and Bryant actually played with other people's kids. The 3 children, ages 15, 13, and 12, are currently staying with their maternal grandpa. Over the phone, their paternal grandpa, Samuel White, tells me he and the kids' father have been trying to see the kids for years.
But it just hurt because it's not the fact that she had to take them through that. Why would she do that and that wasn't the situation?
White says that he personally asked Bryant to bring the kids around. The answer was always no, begging the final question, and perhaps the biggest question: why would she do this?
How are you guys coping with that?
I mean, it's sickening because it was like we wasn't running from the situation. We always asked about them. They doing all right, but it's a lot of scar there. It's a lot of.
This is a viral story, so I know some of you guys are already privy of this. And I just want to get you guys outlook as parents, as mothers, as fathers, as citizens in your community, as being a part of the village, on what you think about this situation. Now, this is a mother that evidently didn't only have them 3, but she had other kids that was with their fathers, but these 3 wasn't. And they're saying that she wasn't home with them for not 1 or 2 or 3 months, 1 or 2 or 3 years, but up to 4 to 5 years. She moved into that home and stayed a couple of months and moved away, but made the kids stay. Y'all see, y'all heard the friend, the friend thought that the kids was with the dads. The grandparents said they had been reaching out to her, trying to figure out what was going on with the kids. What possesses someone to move like that? Get in the comments and let me know. I have no understanding of a mother or a parent, period, treating and subjecting their kids to that type of environment and condition. I have no sympathy for her, none whatsoever. She did go to court, and the judge gave her a $250 million bond and told her it was a cash bond. We're not taking no percentages. You can't go get no bonds. We're not taking none of that. We need all of that up front. We finna get to the bottom of this. And the charges she's facing is first-degree charges. She's looking at life. Do y'all feel like she deserved life? I mean, y'all see the neighbor said that, they'll peek out the window every day and say, nice car, or this or that. And you could tell he was disturbed because, he said, he just thought they were just normally speaking, and he, okay, thank you, and kept it moving. Just the smell of the house alone, coming from under the seats of the doors. Y'all can smell it as neighbors. The schools, how wasn't the schools even aware of the kids not being in school? And then the grandparents, why wouldn't y'all get up and literally go over there to check on y'all grandkids? I told y'all this before. I've watched my mom raise other people's kids in the community. It's baffling to me to even know that something like this could happen, because I wasn't raised around people like that, but some of you guys may was, and some of you guys may know situations and circumstances that people that went through like this. I don't, and I'm from the hood. But that one thing I can say about the hood go look out for the hood. We go feed each other. We go check on each other. We go make sure everything is cool with each other. But this is a very disturbing situation when it comes to these kids. Now they're in the care of the grandparents, which is a good thing, because they could have put them in a system and they would have been separated. I think about the 2 young girls, the 12 and the 13-year-old. Their mother, she was coming back and forth, as the neighbor said. He seen her, but he never see her go in the house. So she was eventually dropping food and stuff off to him from time and time again. But the house was piled up with 4 feet of all different kind of stuff, hazardous stuff. The girls having to go through, the transitioning of coming from girls to a woman, and who's there to direct them through that? This was a very disturbing story, and I wanted to get you guys' opinion and thoughts about what y'all think about this situation. Should she get a life sentence? Should she never be able to see her children again? Get in the comments and let me know what you think about this. And I appreciate you guys hopping up in the truck with me today. All right. Big shout out to my A1 Day Ones. Big shout out to the one that just be glancing in to see what's popping. And a special shout out to my new subscribers. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the support. Salute M2T. Y'all already know. Until the next time, it's your boy.
I just got in a whole brand new bag. I'm running around. Jewelry moving like juice. Look, I just leveled up. I thank God. Straight from the mud. Now it's time to get the pie. Sweat in the blood. You can see it in my eyes. My future turning up. What a time to be alive. I'm that nigga. I don't mean to brag, but I'm too nice for this.